Good morning. It is a fresh, breezy middle of October day. Obviously first light as well, and I'm on the river, estuary Ria. I had some pictures yesterday sent to me by various people. Some double figure fish out on a wreck on the Anglo Dawn, and somebody fishing reefs with some very nice sized bass. However, that's a common fishing phrase. Should have been here yesterday. I couldn't get out yesterday, and today we've got east wind. However, I had planned to have a river trip at some point this year, and today's the day. I'm not an expert in any fishing disciplines, and fishing the river for the target species Gilt Head bream, I am certainly no expert, but what do I know? Gilt Heads, bottom feeders. They feed on mussels, winkles, even oysters, prawns, and I think they nibble on seaweed as well. So for that we need a rig that's going to be on the bottom. We also need the time of year. From sort of November onwards, they'll go out to sea and breed and spawn. Hopefully I'm not too late for that. Middle of October, so should be okay. Last month would have been ideal. Never had an opportunity. You also need the river to be nice and quiet. Lots of boats going up and down, they'll scare them off. This time of year there's not much going on, and it's nice and quiet at first light, which we are. So first light, early evening, that should be good, and we need some bait. I've only used them a couple of times because they're about an hour and a bit's drive away from me, but Southwest Sea Baits in Plymouth got some cracking ragworm from them, so hopefully I'll put that to good use. Right, what have we got then? I don't do this sort of fishing often enough. If I did, I'd probably have different rods and reels, but I'm using the rods that I've got. So on my spinning rod, I will have two lines out when I get set up. So running ledger with just a bead to protect the knot there, and then onto a short hook length of 25-pound fluorocarbon, 3 beads, and because their mouths are quite strong, obviously eating oysters and the like, you need a strong but not a big hook. So I've got a size 2 Cox and Roll Chinook, and that will be ragworm. I have got some mackerel belly strips as well, but I'll be mainly sticking with rag. So that one I've got, just because of the rod I'm using on my spinning rod, a little 3-ounce lead. I've got another rod set up with a slightly heavier lead, and I'll just show you here. So hopefully you can see this. Let's just zoom in a little bit. I've got try that. Oh. Nope, the other one was better. So I've got myself set up. There's obviously a gully there, a little deep track. So I've got myself anchored on the edge of it. So with my lighter rod, I'm going to cast into the middle, and with the slightly heavier lead, I'm just going to take that on the edge of it. So that's the feature I'm hoping to fish. I've got a couple of different marks I can try. This one I'm going to try on the flood tide. I'm out at just on the rising tide, so I've got a couple of hours on the flood, then the top water, and then a couple of hours on the ebb before I have to get back on my mooring. So I've got a couple of different marks I can try along the way, and I'll get set up, chuck some baits in the water and give it a go. Just had the first little knock on this rod. Unfortunately, with this east wind, the boat's swinging on the anchor, so it's not the best spot, but definitely had a little bit of interest. I've had a bite, so I'll stay here for a bit, but you can probably tell from the camera that the boat is swinging on the anchor, and that's not ideal, 'cause I want to put the bait in the channel and keep it there, and with the boat swinging, I've either got slack line or it's pulling the bait. across the bottom. So not ideal in this location, but like I said, had a bite, so I'll give it a go for a minute yet. I'm not counting that as a catch. Although it did eat the worm and I did land it. So a bit later in the day I might count it as a catch if it's going to be a blank, hopefully not. Right, yeah, this swinging about is frustrating. So there's another mark that I'm going to try that it might just sit a little bit better in this breeze. So yeah, we'll move on and give that a try. That's both rods out again, both rods fishing, and I'm in a much better position now. Previously I was just over there by the trees. The tide is coming in. The tide was coming up alongside the trees, but the wind is blowing down almost opposite the tide in that position. And of course, boats always want to sit sideways onto the wind, so it's swinging all the time. So now I've got the wind. The boat is sat nicely with the tide coming in from almost directly ahead. The wind is on the side, so it's where the boat wants to sit, and that swing has stopped. And there are fish here because I've lost one worm. So I think bites to fish ratio, I'm about 5 to 1 in favour of the fish at the moment. They are winning. I'm feeding them and they are not feeding me. However, this is better. This is where I want it. The baits are static in the water, not rolling around as the boat swings and pulls them around all over the place. Yeah, just bait robbed at that spot. So moving on to spot 3 in the hope of fish number 1. A new bit of the estuary, found a bit without some wind. I think I might have a very small fish on. When I said a very small fish. Perfect little bass. A fish, not a cucumber. I'll try most things out of the sea. Apparently you can eat sea cucumbers, but I draw the line at that, sorry. Right, let's rebait and see if there's anything a little bit bigger. Let me just show you where we are. So I tried another spot and it was just too windy. It's just funneling down the creek I was in. So there's another little spot here and it is absolutely beautiful. So I'll come just down there. On a sunny day it's fabulous up this little creek, and there's even a pub at that end. Yeah, anyway, not here for the pub today. We're here to catch some fish, so I'll stick another worm on and get that bait over the side. Change of spot as we approach the top of the water, and I don't think I'm going to be in this spot for very long. We're back to breezing, I'm back to swinging all over the place, but this headland that I wanted to fish here, there's 2 spots here and one very close by that I wanted to give a go on the ebb tide. So yeah, if this one doesn't work for swinging around, there's a very deep pool here, and with the headland, it's a run where the fish might be swimming by. So that's why I wanted to give it a go. But if it's swinging all over the place, it just makes detecting bites that much more difficult. So yeah, 5 minutes, both baits in the water, 5 minutes with those, see if they pick anything up. If not, I'll move on, but I'll bring you back if anything is attracted by the ragworm. As I suspected a while ago. Right, camera clicked off. Yeah, as I suspected a while ago, crabs, and this one is a decorator crab, I believe, like a spider crab, sort of covered in weed type thing, but yeah, decorator crab. Back that goes, and I'll yeah, reposition. This is no good, too windy. Well, unfortunately, none of those spots were particularly fishable. The wind's getting up as forecast. Yeah, I'm just swinging around, and when I bring the baits up, they've just been stripped by crabs. So, a couple of options. I could go further back out towards the bar and have a go on the place run, or I can go back to the spot that we started, because now the wind and the tide are in the same direction, it might not swing as much. So I've caught place this year, still got a glimmer of hope for a gilt head, so back up to where we started, there or thereabouts. I'll try and find a good fishable spot up there, and yeah, see if we can save the day with a gilt head. So here are some of the pictures showing that I should have been out yesterday. And it also gives me a chance to apologise for the shocking sound quality on the last clip. I took my jacket off and didn't take the mic off it. So yeah, the mic's hung on the back of my chair. So sorry about that. And if you want to hear the comments on the closing clip for this video, turn the volume up loud. Thanks very much. Well, I'm just about to give up. I've got my last two baits out, very last two baits. I've got no worms left. I've got a bit of mackerel belly strip on one of them just to vary it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm just on the time when I need to leave actually for the tide. So yeah, that's the day. I've had quite a few new subscribers recently. Thank you very much for subscribing. So just to explain what my channel is about, and I know I'm repeating myself for regular viewers, more regular viewers. Yeah, it's just I'm not a professional fisherman. I'm not an expert fisherman, as I quite often amply demonstrate. I'm just an enthusiastic amateur giving it a go, and I share what I do. I like to keep it real, and sometimes you have days like this. So yeah, it's not blank. So yeah, a cucumber, a decorated crab. That was interesting. I haven't seen one of those for a while. I've seen a few of them rock cribbling when the clips were very much smaller. But yeah, I haven't seen a decorated crab for a while, and that perfectly formed little bass. So that was nice to see. And it's always nice to have a day on the water, even though it's breezy. The thing about fishing the river is if the conditions are difficult, it is difficult. If you can't get out to sea, which would probably be miserable today, then equally the river isn't a fantastic option. The best days to fish the river are days when you can go out to sea, and I prefer to be out to sea. However, it's got something else to do. Caught a little bit of something, fed a lot of crabs, but yeah, didn't achieve the target species. Maybe should have given up on that a little bit earlier and tried for a place, or elusive gilt head, and elusive they remain. So there we are. Thanks for watching. I'm not sure when the next one's coming out. It's forecast east wind now for the foreseeable.